Arts therapy is a creative modality where you're working with a group or individual, and creativity is your main method of therapeutic support. So you're working with an arts therapist. That means that we're facilitating a creative process, and then the individual is bringing the content related to their own life and their own goals.
It's a safe environment, in a safe environment with clinical therapists. So they're encouraged to release their stresses through different art materials that they feel connected to.
So maybe painting, drawing, we bring in clay, we do lots of things like dance and mindfulness. Sometimes we call dance movement because dance can be a little bit scary for people sometimes. But basically I would say that almost everything is art.
Well, art therapy is for everyone. A lot of people ask me whether art therapy is only for people who's got confronting issues or the concerns they want to work with. It is for everyone.
If you want to think about young children, they can really benefit from arts therapy because it's such a creative and playful process. So that means that they can use just their feelings and their emotions in a very safe, playful way to express what's going on for them. But also adults need arts therapy because often we can get quite stuck in our head or a little bit limited in our play, and it can help us be a bit more expressive and explore what's going on for us. We want to talk about arts therapy as a therapeutic support that's available for everyone, that we help maintain our health and our well-being. Instead of turning to arts therapy only when we're really desperate, we can also use it like going to the gym. You just go regularly and you keep yourself in good health.
For the private therapy, it is totally client-centered. So you come with a matter or questions that you want to find the answer. So we try to work along together and help clients to explore that, well, the emotions or responses towards the concern, and we work on it.
The difference between doing individual arts therapy and group arts therapy is that obviously with individual arts therapy you can delve a little bit more into your individual needs and the content in your own life. Group arts therapy, there's a little bit less space for total focus on your individual needs, but those can still come out. But a main difference with group arts therapy is that the group dynamic is a really powerful, empowering part of the process. So connecting with other people in the group, sharing, noticing differences, getting support from each other, that's a really cool part of group arts therapy. Obviously in individual arts therapy, there's no one in a group apart from you two, so there's the art therapist and the client, so it's kind of a group of three, but it's a little bit smaller and more focused.
With my younger clients, they can't identify or name what sort of struggles they have. So through art, we try to find out what actually matters and how we call it and how we can help. But with adults, because they lived for many years, they have the perceived way of art therapy, or like doing art or learned art techniques that actually limits my clients' explorations, because they try to be perfect or they try to make a good art piece that could be judged as good. But that's one of the biggest barriers that I experience with my adults clients, because they're living in a cognitive upward, and what we expect and experience in art therapy is more like inner work.
Lots of people sometimes think at the beginning, I can't do art, so therefore I can't do arts therapy. So what we would say to them is that in arts therapy, it's not about what your image looks like or how good it is, it's all about what it means to you. So I hear all the time people saying, my art teacher told me when I was 5 that I wasn't good at art, or some traumatic story about their art not being good enough. It's not about good enough, it's about your process and your relationship with your art. So maybe we could actually explore how we feel about art, and that might be one of our processes that we do. It's all about getting in your relationship and your meaning with your image that you've made.
For art therapy, we don't need any art background. Well, for me, I had art background. It limits my ability of being free in art therapy. So sometimes it is nice to have no background and just being a beginner of trying something new
When people ask if they need to come to art therapy with like an issue or a problem that they need to solve, you definitely don't. You can come to art therapy as a time just to have relaxation or time out or explore what's happening for you in the present. So you don't need to walk into the art therapy room or book in with a big idea of what you want to work on, though lots of people do because they're struggling with a certain area and that's their motivation. But if you're just thinking about art therapy as a way to have time out and connect with yourself, then we can work with goals like that as well. So that's a really beautiful way to use creativity, that it's connecting with yourself in the present, seeing what's going on the inside, maybe celebrating something or remembering something. We don't always have to have really high level intense goals, but those goals are also appropriate sometimes.
Art therapy, particularly for the group therapy, it is open to everyone. So you can just come without any issues, or sometimes you find your issue through the processes. So yeah, just come and join and meet new people. The creative therapy was established in 1940s in the big countries like UK, United States and Europe. But the type of assessment in art therapy was used earlier in psychotherapeutic or psychiatry field.
So some of the fundamental areas that art therapy came from were in medical settings using art images to do projective drawings or to do assessments on how people are feeling in their psyche. So back in the 80s, lots of images that were sort of quite symbolic were used to explore things about the lower parts of people's brains that maybe they couldn't say so easily, but an image could bring out something. And that was maybe useful in the 80s. Now we do less assessment with our images, and it's more about what does it mean to you as the client, as the person that's making the art. Back then it was a little bit more about the therapist telling you what they could see in the image. So that's a little bit about the history of art therapy. So the benefits of art therapy are all about creativity. So creativity is kind of like bringing out something new from inside yourself, and that thing can be very life-giving because it can be new information, it can be relaxation, so a time out just to be feeling safe and relaxed. Creativity can also give us information about our world around us or something that's happened to us in the past that we want to explore. So creativity is kind of like poiesis, which is a Greek word that means it's all about there was nothing and now there's something growing there. So we want to use creativity as a way for little seeds to grow and to bring change in whatever direction we want. So creativity is also all about your voice. So leaving a mark on a page, a blank page that then you made a line or a colour or a shape on, that's like my voice and my own self having the power to make a mark on the world, and that page sort of shows that I was here. And then I can use that page and that mark to empower myself because I'm making big images that represent something about me and that I am valuable. So it can be really empowering. People might notice after coming to arts therapy. So your child might be coming to arts therapy and you might notice that before they arrive, they're a little bit tense or stressed or pent up with energy maybe from school. Then after they leave, they're a little bit more expressive or relaxed or confident in some area, or some of their worries have sort of been left on the page. Maybe for an adult, you might come feeling like, I'm really anxious about this area, and then we actually can work with that area of your life and make a response to it. So you come and here's your goal, then we can respond to that goal, and because art is something that you can move and change and modify, then you can modify things that are inside our heart and our head. We can get them on the page and change them, and then that actually can help us because those symbols have changed in our life. And then when you leave the session, you've worked with those symbols and moved forward in some way. So your emotions have changed, your thoughts might be moving a little bit more, your body might be feeling a bit more relaxed. So some of those areas that you're working on might be changing just step by step each week in an arts therapy session. Creativity can give us life because it's something new and different and enjoyable, just without us even bringing our own issues or challenges or thoughts. Doing something creative straight away is usually a very positive experience. But then the other really powerful thing is that it allows us to express ourselves, and then on a page in front of you, you have something about yourself that you can work with. The next really powerful thing is that your art in front of you, you can change. So we can do something with the clay, we can make it look different. We can say, what did I need in that difficult experience in my life? And you can give it to yourself symbolically through something that you've made in your clay or your paint or your art process. So it can be really empowering because we can do things in art that sometimes we can't do out in the real world, but we can do symbolically inside our heart, our emotions, our body, inside our brain. Art can help you relieve stress because often stress is actually located in our body. So doing something that's movement related or sensory related or breathing or mindfulness can be a really powerful part of art as well, a part of our arts therapy process. But also stress can be inside our emotions or in our head and our thoughts. So getting out some of our emotions can be a really helpful way to release stress. Also getting out some of our thoughts and putting them on the page and responding to them can be a really good way to release stress.
So stress does not disappear, but we are practicing to handle it in a positive way and expressive way. So in art therapy, we sometimes work on that particular stressful situations that you face, but so in general, like just little kids playing with the paint, we try to release our stress in a positive ways, then we find a way to respond to it. At home, if you don't have any anxiety of doing or making some kind of artwork, you can just start drawing lines or painting or rip and paste some of papers that you like. But if you need professional support, you might do one of our courses, then it will gradually help you to do some art at your private spaces as well. But also recently we have a lot of good quality videos available on website, and especially Art for Health website or on YouTube, you can find some of the ways helping you doing art at home. Don't be scared of trying something new. You'll find new hobby or new talent, or like you could feel you're in a community being supported.
New Zealand, to book for an arts therapist, we have a website called Anzacata, so we can put that up on the screen. Anzacata has a whole list of all the registered arts therapists that are available in different areas and what they specialise in. Or you can go to your doctor or your counsellor and ask if they know of any good arts therapists around. Then you'll be given a name or a number or a website, and there'll always be a way to contact them directly. You can also ask if you can just have a meeting or do a one-off session to check if it is for you, because connecting with your arts therapist and having a really safe, trusting relationship is a really important first step in your therapy. So Arts for Health is a community arts centre, so that means we can have people that come from all parts of the community to use creativity to benefit their well-being. So we have arts tutors and arts therapists, and we go out also into the community, into schools and old folks' homes in different areas, providing creative programs.
So Art for Health is a community-based organisation offering creative space for anyone who wants to try and experience art. So we have art classes and art therapy classes. So art classes, you can gain more techniques of doing paintings or drawings and any artworks. And in art therapy, you gain more experience of self-exploration and self-expressions in a creative way.
You do not have to be creative or already an artist to come to Arts for Health. So people that don't have any creative experience, we would love to work beside you as well. So that can be arts therapy, or it can be art tutoring and art classes. That can be in group scenarios or individually. But arts therapy is all about bringing out our creative process for our well-being. That's what we do as arts therapists at Arts for Health.